2018 sees Porsche celebrate 70 years since their first road car was launched. The 358 was first launched in 1948, and since then the Stuttgart manufacturer has produced some of the most iconic looking cars in history, famed for being sleek, fast, and even reliable. The company can trace its roots back to the late 1800s when founder Ferdinand Porsche designed and built an electric car referred to as the P1. Through the following years, Porsche himself would design cars that included the Auto Union pre-war Grand Prix car, with its rear-engine configuration, something that would become synonymous with future models. From tanks and designing the Beetle during the war, the company opened its own doors to being a car manufacturer and has never looked back since. With a rich racing history to look back on, spanning their time as a fully fledged manufacturer team to selling cars to privateers, and even being an engine supplier in F1's turbo era, here are 6 of the best Porsche racing cars of all time. Number 6, the 959. When you think of Porsche in their own right, you think mainly of GT racing, but the German company has also won in the world of rallying, and even the famed Paris-Dakar rally. Having won in 1984 with the 911 Carrera, the company came back in 1985 with the 959. The 959 was designed around the Group B rules, and the company was to use it as a testbed for road cars. But when Group B rules went more towards rally, that track racing idea was scrapped. However, it wasn't long before 3 911s built to 959 specifications to meet the Group B rules around production cars were readied for another crack at the Dakar. 1985 wasn't the best experience when all 3 cars were DNF, but 1986 seen them take a 1-2 with Jackie X in the winning car. Due to cost, they never went rallying full time, but the car winning the Dakar makes it one of the more famous left field projects from the company. Number 5, the 935. First seen in 1976 and designed to the then Group 5 rules, the 935 was the factory racing version of the 911 Turbo and an evolution of the RSR Carrera that took second overall at Le Mans in 1974. Powered by either a 3 or a 3.2 litre twin turbocharged Fiat Flat 6 that was capable of around 800 horsepower, the car was a dominant one in the Group 5 era and would take over 100 race wins in its racing history between full factory entries and privateers. The car would also take overall honours at Le Mans in 1979 by 8 full laps from the second place car, and would stay competitive until 1982 when the FIA changed the rules that took the 6 numbered groups into just 3 group variations. The car seen many different variations, with the 935-78 possibly the most well known. Nicknamed Moby Dick due to its long tail and mainly white colours with Martini sponsorship, it was a distinctive shape and one that many a racing aficionado can point out to this day. Number 4, the 911 GT1. There's been many 911s over the years in many different guises, but one of them that is a cut from a different cloth is the GT1. After the death of Group C cars and the revival of sports car racing in the mid-90s, Porsche decided to delve back into top-tier racing. The rules seen the likes of McLaren and Ferrari take part in heavily modified race cars versions of their road cars, the F1 and the F40. Porsche, however, cleverly navigated the rules again, creating what was basically a prototype car and then create a road-going version to appease the rules. Powered by a flat 6 twin turbocharged engine, the car was a success in its first Le Mans in 1996, taking GT1 class victory but losing overall honours to the Tom Walkinshaw Racing WSC 95, which was a Jag X-Ray R14 modified by Porsche themselves. In 1997, it's seen an increase in competition from Mercedes and the CLK GTR, but unreliability would rob them of Le Mans victory. Mercedes would dominate the GT1 championship, and while the GT1 would take the overall victory at Le Mans finally in 1998, it was due to the misfortunes of others. Porsche withdrew from GT1 racing at the end of 1998, but the car is still remembered fondly by those who drove it. Number 3, the 919. With no car from Porsche capable of winning the outright Le Mans honours since the GT1, it was in 2012 that they announced they would return to top flight racing again, this time in the LMP1 class with the 919. With just a 2-litre turbocharged engine capable of 500 horsepower, coupled with a hybrid system capable of another 400, the might of Stuttgart was ready to take on Audi and Toyota on the grandest stages of them all once again. The car debuted in 2014 at the Silverstone 6 Hours, but wouldn't win a race till the WEC season-ending Interlagos race. However, from 2015 till their withdrawal again at the end of 2017, the car would take 3 straight Le Mans victories, taking their overall wins to 19, and would take 3 straight WEC championships to boot as well. The car has recently been in the news again with the 919 Evo Tribute, an unrestricted version, breaking the 35-year lap record at the Nürburgring, lapping the green hell in 5 minutes 19, beating the old record that was held by number 2, the 956C/962. The car that held the record for those 35 years was yet another Porsche monster. Mention Group C sports car prototypes to any motorsport fan, and many will bring up the Rothmans colours of the 956C. It was the first car Porsche had made with an aluminium monocoque and was powered by a 2.65 litre turbocharged flat 6 capable of 635 horsepower. Known in America as the 962 due to its longer wheelbase, the 956 debuted in 1982 and in one form or another dominated the Group C era in the mid-80s, taking victory at Le Mans 6 times in a row between 1982 and 1987, before Group C cars were killed off in the early 90s due to safety restrictions. Many see this as the best Porsche race car of all time, and in the hands of Stefan Bellof at the Nordschleife it was electric. But for many, the most recognisable is number 1, the 917. For many people, this is the car that is most remembered. Made most famous by Steve McQueen in the early 1970s film Le Mans, however, many racing fans remember it for its racing exploits and its stunning looks. The light space frame chassis was so fragile that it required to be filled with gas and a gauge on it to detect cracks. Should the gauge go all the way down, the chassis was ready to break, and many 917s crashed in the early days. With a 4.5 litre V12 powering it along and its sleek body, it was extremely fast to go with the fragility. The 917 was to give Porsche its first overall victory at Le Mans in 1970 and followed it up in 1971 with another. Many versions were made, including the 917-30 Can-Am that was rumoured to have around 1,500 horsepower before the oil crisis of the mid-1970s killed the series, but the Gulf-liveried 917 flying down the Mulsanne Straight is still one of motorsport's most iconic images. So that's my list. Do you agree with it? Comment below what famous Porsche cars you would have picked instead, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe as well. Till the next video, my name's Andy, I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra.